At the extra feet.
That's right.
Right. Was he also a woman?
No.
He did have...
He had breasts,
Yes,
but
he
they were
did.
men. They're moves.
manly boobs.
The only thing that's not thievely about Conan really is the fact that he's trustworthy. He will not double cross you.
Right. When he gives his word, he keeps it and things like that.
Yeah, that's not like a thief.
No.
Not at all.
At least
And
not any thief
That's
I've
something
ever run with.
that we kind of came back around to it, but the untrustworthiness of a thief in your group. Let's say you're playing this way. You're one or two players. You want to play a fighter. You need a thief. You bring in an NPC thief.
Oh, you can't trust
No,
those.
can't trust that guy.
never happens.
Right. Never, ever, ever. I mean, there was one point where Jason was so paranoid of thieves that he had his men round up anybody in leather armor, black leather armor.
Oh yeah. Talk about profile.
That's right. He profiled Greyhawk City and had his enforcers go out and round up anybody in black leather armor. Something that was brought up recently was Mike. You were talking about a player that played with us. Did some things because he was paranoid of
He
thieves.
was untrustworthy, and so people would trap their belongings. So
Right.
that
Awesome. Who was this?
We think it was Crotchet.
That could be.
Yeah.
Trap his
So
belongings.
he was so paranoid of people picking his stuff that
See,
he would.
I love that. I like that when you get into a game, an adversarial style game, and you are worried about the players at the table. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean our Sith campaign was a lot like that. We were constantly worried about what the other person was doing, trying to
Constantly trying to
manipulate
get
each
the
other.
others abandoned or killed. And
Yes.
Yeah, Jason's trying to get me
Using
to shoot
area
one of you
effect,
guys.
force
the whole thing.
effects. When everybody's standing right there.
He'd send me notes. Hey, shoot Dan right now. I'm like, what?
The dirtiest son of a bitch at the table was supposed to be the good guy.
Right.
Well, if you think about it, if all you're doing is dungeon crawling, right, and you're the thief, there's really little room for you to exercise your talent sometimes, except to pick the pockets of your friends
Right.
or
Get bored and steal their stuff.
Or to ninja their stuff,
You get
yeah.
like
Yeah.
well, that's another good point, Mike.
Yeah.
You want the thief around, but then when the fight is, you're turning the tide and you're taking over the fight, all of a sudden your thief disappears. And then what happens?
Sean.
Where's the treasure? I don't know. I have no idea.
I did that to Sean, by the way.
Yeah, talk about the biggest thief at the table.
That's great.
That was so
turnabout is
perfect.
fair play, sir.
I mean, it couldn't have happened any better either.
That was hilarious.
I got knocked unconscious after I blew the box open.
Yeah, we're
Like,
talking
oh,
about
there's gold in here. I'll take
Sea
that.
princess.
our Sea Princess campaign.
Didn't you
where,
leave just enough where I was like, hey, look, there's gold in here. Yes. I got like 100 piece or 50 gold.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like a couple silver.
Like, yeah, something silly. I'm like, yes, they got treasure.
Yeah,
It kind of makes me wonder, the phrase thick as thieves.
right,
Because there's all a bunch of bastards who are waiting to betray each other.
right.
So where did the phrase come from? I assume it has something to do with it, like during the planning stage. They're all friendly and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. And then the execution stage, it's all for every man for himself.
Right.
I mean, if you're in a thieving guild,
Right.
then I could see them having a honor amongst themselves.
Well, and that's more of
You know what I mean?
a fear.
Yeah,
yes, you have the one leader of the thieves,
And no one.
and you steal for him.
Right.
It's more of a mafia type situation.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other organization that is as useful as trying to keep the players in line than a thieves guild.
yes.
I can think of one.
The Assassin's Guild.
In Discworld, yes, the Assassin's Guild. That's what I love about Discworld, because there's a guild for
Everything.
Yeah. If you're in a city and you're a thief and you're not a member of the thieves guild, I mean, that's instant.
You're probably going to get shanked in an
Well,
alley.
it's instant hooks for future stuff. You could do. I mean, we've done it where we've done entire city-based campaigns where the thieves guild is screwing with you because you
Poach it on their turf.
Yeah, you poached on their turf, or you snubbed them when they approached you and said, "Hey, we'd love for you to join our guild." Yeah, whatever.
Well, I've been as guilty as making a lot of thieves, but I've never been in a thieves guild in any of the campaigns I've ever played.
Really?
No.
Oh, really?
Note to self.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, wizards guilds and things like that. They're always like this loose association of thinkers and things like that. But none of them have the drive that a thieves guild does. And I think that is a good DM tool to use.
That was especially bad in Greyhawk because they also controlled the city politically.
Well, yeah, and that's in real life. Yes, that would happen. You have a group of ambitious people who their main drive is their greed.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
That's how we get political parties.
See, that's, again, that could be our no-class game in Greyhawk.
No class.
Yeah, no class.
We're just a bunch of guys running for town council.
It's got dual meaning.
One of the things I liked about AD&D first and second edition was that thief characters earned experience for gold.
And it
a
wasn't just
one-for-one,
gold
basically.
earned; it was gold stolen. Correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because I think when we first implemented that rule, it was a rule that we really didn't pay much attention to, and then it was like, oh wait, my guy now owns a kingdom, and I have this much gold in my treasury, so I should get that many experience points.
Yeah, I think that worked the same.
Youth. So, Mike, are you saying you're going to bring that back now in our new editions? Oh, okay.
No.
You have the power. You are the GM.
I'm of the opinion that kind of reward system in an RPG incites competitivism in what should be a group
Coming
activity.
from the guy who absolutely hates competition in all of its forms.
That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We just played the Sith campaign. We were supposed to be competing against each other to a certain degree, but we knew that going in, so I was
Right,
okay with
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But if I've got to play a cleric in a group of 3 thieves, and they're all getting experience when they steal stuff from each other.
But as a cleric, you get experience for healing people.
Right.
And
That's right.
being clericy.
Yeah. Right.
So the onus is on you.
Yeah. Then you walk around just healing people. You heal the bad guys.
You got a hangnail.
Oh, that thief just backstabbed you. Here, let me heal you, kind orc.
Damn it, and I was a thief. Got to do it again.
Oh man, play a priest who's compelled to heal every injury.
Would be funny because you can do these kind of things in computer games.
Right.
Okay. So you could milk, say, a bunch of rats for a bunch of XP in a game like Morrowind. So you do this in real D&D. You have a fighter who gets experience for doing damage, and you have a cleric who gets experience from healing people.
Right.
And you just beat up on the same orc ad nauseum until your 20th level.
By the XP farm on a one orc.
Exactly.
Right. By that 20th level, that thing looks like a beat up blood doll.
He has one hell of a grudge against you.
Jeez.
I'm all scar tissue. It's your fault.
Immune to pain.
Maybe that's where real orcs came from.
So one of the combinations of multi-class that I always found intriguing was the thief wizard.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because
I agree.
I think that as a solo class, I think really the only way to play that would be as a solo class, because you could do the thief stuff and you could use the magic. That's kind of my thinking.
Like
is,
an illusionist thief.
right?
You know.
Your main thing is your thief, and you hide the fact that you're a wizard.
What couldn't you break into? Yeah.
Why pick a lock
Unreal.
when you could just cast knock?
Right.
You know?
Right. I mean, yeah, but you wouldn't use it as a crutch. You wouldn't use it in lieu of your skills, because
Right.
I mean, you could be a wizard who just says he's a thief,
Right.
And just really good at hiding his spells.
So I've always wanted to find a good way to do a mage thief, but the simple fact is, like, if you do that, you end up being a low-powered wizard and an underskilled thief who's really squishy.
Well, if you're playing a hack and slash game, then yeah, that would be a poor choice. If you're playing a high RP game where your skills come into factor and you're not getting into that many fights, or
You're not doing any dungeon crawls.
or you run from fights,
Yeah.
then you couldn't do that in a group dynamic, because the guys would be like, "Where's our thief going?"
Yeah.
No, you can still do that.
Hey, just take the fight off.
I've done it. I have no problem doing it.
Me too.
That's right. Mike's Olivia was a thief. That
was bad.
Jay's epic character was a thief, but that he would run away from things often, but it's usually just because he was distracted by something else, not for, of any maliciousness.
Yeah, and that's the thief would always okay, well, is there an opportunity to sneak out and find the treasure while everybody's fighting, or scout ahead? And it was always like you wanted to, at the end of the adventure, turn the thief upside down and shake him to make sure they didn't have anything, and then go through his scat to make sure he hadn't swallowed anything.
That's the long play.
Yeah, I'm drawing the line at scat sifting.
No, that's best left to NPCs.
And see, I think that was more prevalent in early editions, because backstab before you could only do once
A day?
in an encounter. Like if you got the surprise, if you ambush someone, if you beat them on initiative, you could backstab them.
Oh, okay.
After that, they know you're there, thus the opportunity to backstab them was gone. Not until 3rd edition come around did the whole flanking rules come out.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So once you did your backstab, then
Thank God for flanking rules.
Yeah, you would sneak off and steal the treasure.
Yeah, there was nothing else you could do.
Yeah.
It was almost like the wizard casting his one spell and then having to watch the rest of the game.
That's the thing with 3rd and 3.5 is giving the thief character more opportunities to do sneak attack damage. You took a character that was not even a good right-handed reliever in combat. It was, you're actually bringing him up to a better level.
Right.
But then he's not only is he stealing all your treasure, but he's stealing all your kills.
Right.
Right.
Because he'll take a couple rounds to maneuver. While he's maneuvering, you're hacking away with your longsword or whatever, and then he gets behind the guy or, gets the flank on him and does 46 worth of sneak attack damage with, not even a dagger anymore. You could do it with any light
Short
weapon.
sword, yeah.
So you could do it with a rapier. So you've got a good D6 damage, plus any strength bonus you may or may not have. Got to be quite a thing.
Right. And I think people got used to that.
Yeah.
And that's why in 4th edition it became like, well, I want to make the thief is the striker. I want them to be able to do these other cool things in combat. And it's, I think, in a way, has taken away from some of the charm of being a thief.
It's taken away a lot of the charm of being a fighter. I mean, you've taken that class that used to be able to take damage and dish out damage, and now all he really does is take damage. That's how you get the tanking term in the MMOs and whatnot.
Right.
I'm not necessarily doing any damage. I'm doing just enough damage, close enough to draw aggro, and then I'm taking up a lot of damage while these other guys either casting or getting behind or whatnot.
As a former tanker, I take offense to that term.
You should take.
Yeah, but you were an actual tanker.
Because,
I like the DPS. Hence all my Star Wars characters. All DPS tunes.
in a fantasy setting, I think you have to have it's one of those classes that I think gets overlooked. Somebody wants to play the fighter, somebody wants to play the wizard. I think the thief, other than the cleric, make no mistake, the cleric has always been the redheaded stepchild of the classes. But I think the thief, unless you have somebody who's like loves to play the thief, like Sean, then then it's like, okay, I guess I'll play the thief.
Oh, you twist my arm again. I'll play the thief.
Here's an overlooked aspect of why you would need a thief in an adventuring group. Much like you need a cleric, let's say, to get healing from a certain temple. You realistically need a thief in your group to unload all that loot you just stole.
Right, because they should have all the connections with the underworld where you could fence all of your goods.
Fence the vendor trash.
Playing a bard is a lot like a thief, too, though.
I've had a lot of fun
they're
playing
not
bard.
thieves, but
Right.
I kind of tend to play a bard like I would a thief.
That's one of the reasons why I think I do not like the term rogue.
Yeah.
And the class rogue, because really a bard is a rogue, and
yes.
Once you've kind of blurred that line, it took away from both classes, I think.
They're a thief wizard.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I got into playing bards in the first place. That was the kind of the thief mage combo that I was kind of looking for. But I've never been in a game where we actually did it, where we had a bard that would attract a crowd and then have a thief or thieves pickpocketing out in the crowd, and then it was like,
working.
Yeah, it was just like the classic example I think from the old AD&D book.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, we've never done it.
I'm telling you.
All thieves.
All thieves. We'll do that after our Harry
and
Potter.
After our all wizard campaign.
No, our all thief / politician Greyhawk upper
Yes.
class struggle game.
Actually, it was on our forum, DRKCV. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's Dark CV, I guess. He recommends that we, instead of doing a Harry Potter-esque all wizards campaign, do a wizards and rogues in a magocracy land. He says that the trick to that sort of campaign is not to go Harry Potter. Imagine a country where magic is outlawed by the ultra-rich wizard classes that run it. The players are poor outcasts, beggars, and rogues who steal to further their secret education in a hope to overthrow the evil wizard kings. Crafting skills become the only viable way to make magic items, and just having them marks you as a target.
Ooh.
So, very good, very good.
Concept. As a concept, I like it.
Mike, make it happen. Or Eric, make it happen. Who's doing this?
We playing the rogues or
Well, you would be like almost like rogue, thief wizards,
man?
because you'd be hiding the fact that you're wizards, because it would be illegal. So I think that's a very good idea.
Viva la Resistance.
I mean, the original concept, of course, was the all wizard school.
Right.
Patronus.
Right.
This would be like an all wizard study group.
Well, it would be a secret cabal.
I don't know. I mean, we're really spiraling down this hole, but that's kind of what Voldemort wanted. You know, he wanted that class caste system. You know?
Yes.
So if he would have won,